Hoku Music Festival. Now we have, the idea of putting this actual workshop together is we have 3 different, and I call them monsters in the best possible way. Here on drums, from the beginning, Mr. Aweau. Now here on, actually on bass guitar here, now everyone knows him because of the fact that he has the voice of an angel, and also plays this incredible guitar and incredible bass, Mr. Aweau, who actually just flew in. Now, and our special guest that we actually brought in from Fender Guitar, now from Wisconsin, right?
That's correct.
Wisconsin. We have Greg here on electric guitar. This guy, he's got like millions of hits on YouTube and all of his videos, and represents Fender guitar. Mr. Greg Koch, give it up for him, please. Now, the joy about this whole workshop is the fact that none of you guys have actually jammed with each other before, and this is the key to improvisation, whether it be the song they're going to play, the song key they're going to play in, to solos, to trading off, to whatever else. So we're just going to let you guys jam. And in between, we'll ask questions and interrupt you guys. So please have that be. Folks, give it up. Improvisation. Tool.
Hey, Paulie, does this thing rise?
You know, that's a very good question. The last 3 workshops asked me the same thing. Hold on, cat.
Greg might hurt himself with that.
I know. Oh, look at that.
Again?
Okay.
That's all.
So what do you guys call that one? Just out of curiosity.
That is called Back to the Chicken Shack.
Back to the Chicken Shack. That's very nice. Good conversation there. So what was going on? Can you tell us a little bit about what was going on in this song? I know each of you traded off just flawlessly and effortlessly. How does that happen? You know, a lot of musicians here in the audience. What do you do to make that happen? You know, how do you communicate? So on and so forth.
Well, hi. You know, it's fascinating. One of the great things I get to do with my affiliation with Fender is I do a lot of things where I'm set up with various musicians all over the place. And you always try to play to their strengths, and sometimes you can tell within the first 30 seconds, 10 seconds, sometimes even before you play, how it's going to go or not going to go. And, you know, from moment one, I knew that these guys were of the highest caliber possible. And it's not, and the thing is for me is that it's not just the ability to have a great deal of chops or that kind of stuff, but listening-wise, I mean, there was a respect music-wise right from the get-go. So there was listening going on. So for me, I kind of just start off to make sure we establish some kind of a rapport, and then it just kind of goes from there. So especially when you're doing a blues, there has to be some respect for, as much as it's easy to do a 1-4-5 progression, it's the most pure and organic of all the, I mean, if you can't play a blues right with the proper respect, it doesn't matter how many chops you have or, you know, what kind of pyrotechnics you can administer, as far as I'm concerned. If you can't do a blues and make it be musical, then it's just no fun for me anyway. That's my own personal perspective. So I think it was, you know, from that it was organic from the get-go. Everyone had kind of a mutual appreciation for just the goodness of a 12-bar blues, and then we unleashed the power. That's all I have to say.
Nathan, okay, so for everyone here that knows the incredible Nathan Aweau, I mean, obviously your solo work, your work with Hapa, the stuff you're doing now. I understand you have a project with Jeff Peterson that you're working on right now. What did you do to develop?
No, I'm just kidding.
Now, your style and everything, I mean, because on bass and guitar, you know, we had you over in Bekele and stuff like that. How did you develop your chops and your technique?
First of all, I don't have a style. I don't really think of it as style. It's, I think I was very fortunate growing up in a very musical family where we heard everything from Motown to Hawaiian and everything in between. And except the heavy metal thing, I loved heavy metal. I was, you know, going through that rebellious stage, and my father hated that. But you know, I enjoyed listening to all that AC/DC and whatnot. But as far as style, no, you listen to things, you appreciate it, you enjoy it, and just, I want to say subconsciously, just kind of like pick up things here and there, and next thing you know, you're playing something like in this situation, and you realize, hey, where'd that come from? Oh, I remember it from listening from a Motown song or something like that, you know. So.
Is bass, I mean, what is your favorite instrument to play?
Oh, definitely the bass guitar. Yeah. Started playing piano when I was 3, kind of like we were forced to. My father forced us to take piano lessons and everything. I hated it. You know, I wanted to be outside with the boys and play baseball and whatnot. But you know, it served me well. And of course, in Hawaii, all of us had to learn ukulele in elementary school. And pick up the guitar. And then my main instrument throughout middle school and high school and going into college was the saxophone. But you know, I just kind of took a liking to the bass guitar. So yeah, I'll definitely say the bass guitar. I love playing drums. I suck at it, but yeah, I love playing drums. It's kind of like to get my aggression out, you know.
As do I. So, and also, for those that don't know, I know a lot of people here in this room do recognize, you're also the band leader for Don Hole's band?
No, I was his bass player for 16 long years.
How old were you when you started?
Tiny bubble. No, gosh, I think I was 21.
Wow.
And you know, in between that, just being able to perform with a lot of other musicians, and yeah, I was with Don Hole for 16 years.
That is awesome. Garen, over there back behind the drums, I know you're gonna have to, I'm sorry, you're gonna have to borrow. We should get him a mic if we can get one. So, now, I've had the honor of having your drumming on 2 of my CDs. stuff, right? Now, can you give us a little background history about Garen pulling Aweau? And I mean, a lot of people know here in the islands, you know, when you need a good drummer, they give you a call. How did you develop your technique, and what kind of music, what kind of other drummers did you listen to?
Well, I mean, pertaining to what we just did, when you asked that question, I had to really think about it.
Sorry.
Because, I mean, it's kind of natural already. I don't know if you guys probably feel the same. But it's just second nature already for me. But, you know, trying to explain to somebody new in the business or new to music is kind of tough. But, you know, blues is based off of a form. You know, A, B section, or I mean, like most music has different sections. So you just kind of take that into consideration. You know, if there's a vamp or intro, you kind of play that for a while. And it's pretty much the same form throughout the whole song, you know, and pretty much after you go through the head, the melody, then somebody takes a solo for however many cycles, somebody else. And like when the drums did the solo, it was still in the form, but we just did like 4 bars of like guitar, and then the drums would take it for 4 bars. So. But yeah, improvisation, you know, it's just playing what you feel. You can start off by trying to play the melody on the drums, or you can take it as far out as you like. And that's how I kind of approach that stuff.
Wow, thank you. For anyone that might have questions here in the audience, please just throw your hands up if you do. And till we have another one that comes up, guys, if you want to wow us with another impromptu composition.
Mercy, mercy, mercy.
Yeah.
So you're sitting around the door goes up. Okay. And then just one, and then the walk up is. And then the thing after is just it goes. That's it.
Go ahead, yeah.
That's the whole tune.
Before you guys start, I know that Greg got late a little while ago, and we just want to let Nathan and Garen also have the pleasure of being late. Oh, you got that too? Well, Nathan gets to get late.
I didn't get laid.
You're gonna be in a few seconds, brother. A few seconds.
I got one. I got it on my drums.
Oh, thank you.
The only Hawaiian to have allergies with flowers.
Okay. Sure, we can do that. 3, 5, 1.
And Greg, what was the name of that one there?
I was going to say something wrong. But, Mercy, Mercy, Mercy by Joe Zawinul, of all people.
That's beautiful. That's wonderful. Now, first, before I go on to the next question, any questions, folks? Anyone here? No? Just enjoying it. Yeah. Can't leave everyone speechless. That's why I have to actually talk this round here. But
I think you're here, man.
obviously, monster musicality. So, from each of you, let's start with you, Greg. Who did you listen to when you grew up? When you wanted to do music and guitar? Who were some of your influences?
Well, that's a good question.
Thank you.
I roomed with my older brother. That's the only reason why I probably got into the music that I got into. I was the youngest of 7 kids, and my brother was the oldest, and I was the youngest, and there were 5 girls in between. So I had a room with my brother, who was quite a bit older than I was, and so he would be playing Cream and Hendrix and the James Gang and the Stones and the Beatles, while the rest of my miscreant friends were listening to Kiss and God knows what else was being played that they were getting into. So I just got into that whole generation of music. So for some reason, when I was a young kid, Jimi Hendrix was like a god to me. So I always thought that musicians were cooler than any sports figures or movie star. I grew up thinking that Hendrix was the coolest guy on the planet. You know what I'm saying? So I just knew I wanted to play like old Jim. And then when I was fairly studious about it, so when I would read up on old Hendrix, I did a report on Hendrix when I was in 3rd grade. That's how sturdy I was. And I read about who he was into, and I keep seeing these names, Muddy Waters and Howlin' Wolf and B.B. King and Albert King and these types of folks. So as soon as I started playing guitar, I was doing my best to learn kind of Cream era Clapton stuff, Hendrix, Zeppelin, Jeff Beck, that kind of stuff. And then pretty quick, I had B.B. King live at the Regal and a bunch of Albert King stuff. There used to be this radio station that used to do portraits of a different blues star every week. It was on late at night, so I get my little tape recorder out and I'd record, an anthology of T-Bone Walker or whoever the case was. And so I would devour these styles and not to try to directly rip off exactly what they were doing, but I always want to do my own thing. So I would hear different aspects of what these people did and try to put it in my own little stew. And right around the same time, I started hearing, Dire Straits was on the radio, and I heard Mark Knopfler in that clean sounding Strat play with his fingers, and I thought, I gotta get me some of that. I gotta get me some of that poultry in motion. There's some kind of chicken picking fricassee going on there. So I started listening to that stuff. I got into Albert Lee, and then I started reading about who they were into, and I'd see names like, James Burton, and of course Chet Atkins, and Jerry Reed, and so I got into that. And I was a huge Allman Brothers fanatic. So between all of this stuff, and then I started getting into jazz, it just never ends. Music, once I was 12 years old and I started playing guitar, everything else fell by the wayside, much to the chagrin of my parents, because I don't think that they had You know, my dad was a lawyer. I was kind of thinking I would kind of follow in the footsteps, but instead I became a pagan rock warlord. So.
Nice work there.
But now he's kind of into that, you know. So that's what I did go to school for music, but I really majored in beer, to be honest with you. So.
A lot of graduates here from that university.
And it just kind of went from there.
That's awesome. Thank you. Nathan, how about you, brother?
I think, like most musicians, same thing. You get excited when you hear something new or something that kind of touches you, whether it's emotionally or, you know, some kind of riff that someone did, whether it's a saxophone player, guitar player, bass player, whatever. I noticed I move in stages. Like when I was in college, it was like Luther, you know, vocalists and whatnot. I've always got into guys like Sammy Nestico, the guy that did a lot of jazz arrangements. Love that kind of stuff. And same thing, listen to acoustic guitar players like Tommy Emmanuel that just kind of, you know, blow me away. And I'm at this stage right now where everything is about Chick Corea. And I just love everything that he did from the past to now, you know, just, I don't know, honestly, if you was to go in my car right now, probably there's a Chick Corea CD, you know, playing.
We almost had him down here, by the way.
Oh, really?
Did work on Chick. Next show.
And then, of course, a few months ago, spent about a week up in the Big Island, Waimea, and we did a music festival up there. A few as musicians, myself, Jake Shimabukuro, Benny Chong, Jeff Peterson, and Victor Wooten, who, if you guys don't know who he is, he's just an unbelievable bass player. Now, originally, I was going to go when I got invited. I was like, you know, I've done that before. And they said, oh, we're bringing Victor Wooten. I'll be right there. You know? So the one whole week of just hanging out with the most incredible musicians, number one. And, you know, I don't want to put Victor, you know, as an idol or whatever, but he was practically, you know, I was just kind of sitting there and we're talking stories. And I'm standing there just acting like I'm Joe Cool, but deep down inside I'm like, you know? But no, very sweetheart of a guy, just enjoyable to be around. But if you guys never heard who that is, he's this electric bass player. Well, he plays upright too, but he's this bass player out of Tennessee. He spent some time in Hawaii, believe it or not, out Kaimuki. But not just his bass playing technique and whatnot, it's just his musicianship is just on another level that just is just incredible. So, you know, same thing, I move in stages, and right now it's like Chick Corea and of course Victor Wooten, and yeah.
Thank you. Yaron, how about you, brother? What do you got?
Check there, check, check. What's the question again?
Musical influences, who influenced your style,
okay.
stuff you grew up with. Some of you listening now to.
Yeah. Well, if a lot of you guys don't know, I'm from the Big Island, so we don't get a lot of stuff out there. But I grew up there, and I remember seeing a band called Seawind. I don't know if you guys remember who Seawind is, but the first time I saw Bob Wilson play drums, that was like kind of the guy that I wanted to be like. And because Seawind would come to Hawaii like once a year, and it was pretty much just practice. And we didn't have videos back then, no instructional videos, you know, no music videos. And I just played in a high school band, which was cool. Actually, yeah, my band director was really good at instrumental and getting all the kids into music. And our high school stage band was killer, you know. Now you got a lot of distractions with the internet and all that stuff. And so, you know, I really encourage the kids to get an instrument and like play it, you know. I mean, but anyway, Bob Wilson was my main influence, and then, you know, I liked all the drummers from the late 70s, early 80s, because that was kind of my generation. Jeff Porcaro from Toto.
Oh yeah.
Steve Gadd, you know, guys like that, and Vinny Caliuta. And yeah, when I moved to the mainland, you know, I got a chance to see a lot of those guys play. And there's really incredible players, because every time after seeing them in a club or something, it's like I wanted to quit. You know, because they're that good. But you just got to kind of take that, you know, digest it and just keep at it, you know, and then little by little you get better. So it's kind of my story.
It's a good story.
That's a great story. And before actually we want to move on to yet another song, also want to acknowledge the musicians here in the audience. He had a session earlier, Mr. Ernie Cruz Jr. over there in the red shirt. Incredible, incredible guy. Now the young, lovely lady sitting to his far left, Chantel Ikehara, was actually the Keizu radio station karaoke contest winner. She went to Japan to represent Hawaii. Chantel, wave here and say hi. Again, to Ernie's furthest left, serves with me in the Board of Governors of the Hawaii Academy of Recording Artists, the songstress herself, Miss Marlene Tsai. Yay!
Sing one.
Yeah. Charles is still here?
Charles had to go bathroom.
Oh. From the big Adam, Mr. Charles Brotman. Also, I want to acknowledge and ask you folks to put your hands together. We have two very lovely ladies from the Office of Hawaiian Affairs that made these workshops possible for Hara. Thank you so much. Okay, so we're going to let you folks come up with your next master hit right now. What do you have for us?
Okay, we'll keep doing it. Okay, all right.
Just kind of looking at Chantel. I know her when she was baby.
Still baby, what you talking about?
Her mom looks like her sister, yeah. She's my classmate in high school.
Somehow I don't remember the original version having 30-second notes and those things in there, but that's awesome. But that was incredible, incredible. Also, Nathan, also speaking about Victor, who's in the very front row here, had a chance to tour with this guy, Mr. Will Yokoyama, who's a very dear friend of Victor's, and also an incredible bass player herself, and having us out here for workshops. Now, any questions before we wrap up with one more original composition created on the fly for anyone? Yeah, we're all dumbfounded dudes, so. How about one more for us here in the art of improvisation? Again, on drums, Mr. Garen Poliahu. Please give it up for him. Bass guitar and lead vocals, Mr. Nathan Aweau. And the god of all things spinner guitars, Mr. Greg Koch, right here. And folks, this is actually Greg's first time to Hawaii, so
I love
if you
it.
have suggestions, please hit him up after the show. Roxal, what is that, bro? I don't Anyway, one more for us, folks, and thank you again.
You guys want to do something funny?
Yeah.
Crazy?
Yeah.
Do a little John Cash for the people. Ready? We're going to do a little song by John Cash, who was a native Hawaiian. I don't know if you're aware of that. And a little something called the Folsom Prison Blues in the key of E. So that's that little tag, it's B, and it's in, and then it just vamps on E until I begin with my vocal skullduggery. And then it goes to the 5, but it doesn't go 5, 4, 1. You know what I mean? When it goes up to 5. Now that we've established the playing field for our John Cash extravaganza, we will commence with the decadence. I'd like to dedicate this one to the concept of poi. I've heard about it. I'm going to bathe in it tonight, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to douse myself in poi. You can be there if you'd like. I don't recommend it. That was a train there, I don't know. Sunshine, I don't know when, while I'm stuck in Folsom Prison, and time keeps dragging on. And that train, it keeps a rolling right down the sand. When I was just a baby, my mama told me, son, always be a good boy, don't ever play with guns. Well, I shot a man in a Schwabana just to watch him die. Now when I hear that whistle blowing, I hang my head. In a fancy dining car, they're probably drinking coffee, two of them big cigars. Well, I know I had it coming. I know I can't be free, but those people keep moving, and that's what tortures me. I'll probably take a little further, just further down the line, far from Folsom Prison. That's where I want to stay. And I'd let that lonesome gristle blow my blues away.
Improvisation, folks. Thank you so much, guys. I really appreciate it. Again, on drums, Mr. Garen pulling Aweau. On bass guitar and vocals, incredible Nathan Aweau. And again, the god of all things Fender, Mr. Greg Koch. Mahalo, folks, for joining us again. A big mahalo to Nancy and Francine from Oha for coming down, for making this possible. Mahalo, folks. God bless. We got one more jam session after this for those that want to stick around. Workshops again tomorrow. We have a jazz concert tomorrow night.